All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the channel. Today, I got something very special for you guys. Something different. Uh, Normally, I don't do this. It probably would have been better in like a stream or a live format, but today I'm doing this open discussion video with probably one of the best Disney Speedstorm streamers that we got to date. And I'm here with Nano Blaster. How's it going, Nano?
Yo, what's good, everybody? I want to say I appreciate Sammy for inviting me to do this with him. He reached out to me. It's a great opportunity to network and talk about Speedstorm, man. So should be lit. I'm excited.
Most definitely. As I told Nano off the recording like the whole week. I've been anticipating this moment. Kind of hype.
Yeah, it's definitely high. I've been looking forward to it since you told me, so I can't wait to get started.
Okay, so the first topic of the day, I'm gonna ask you, what were your thoughts on Inside Out 2? Because before you even started with me, you were actually at the movies and you were peeping that movie. So tell us, the audience, what you thought about that movie.
Okay. So this is gonna be like a no spoiler for people who haven't watched it, because I'm pretty sure a lot of your viewers probably want to go watch it themselves.
Most
But
definitely.
I really enjoyed this movie. I thought it was really good. I liked the inclusion of the new emotions. I feel like the pacing of the movie was really good. The acting of the characters, the models was amazing. Um, it was definitely on par with the first one to me. It definitely had the funny moments. It had very good comedic timing, just like the first one, and definitely had those tear jerking moments. But all in all, fantastic movie. I'd recommend it to anybody, especially if you love the first one and or Disney movies.
Okay, that's great. Because I was just about to ask you, would you recommend it to anyone who hasn't seen the movie before, like myself?
Of course, 100%.
Heard that, guy? So it's gonna be my duty to check it out. I probably might check it out this weekend. We'll see.
Definitely want to do that, my boy.
All right, so moving on. I want to say the next topic before we get into uh, the main course here is what are your thoughts on season 8 so far?
My thoughts on season 8
Yep.
is mostly really good. Now, before I really go into detail, I do want to preface this and say that most of the time when like seasons come out, they usually have like something really like negative going into it, or when the season starts, people are like, experiencing what's new, and they find a lot of really negative things about the season, and it kind of like could negatively impact how the season is for me overall. Um, but this season, I'm not gonna lie, this is probably their best season since either free to play started, which was season 4, or it's just the best season that I've played so far. I wasn't here. I'm not an early access player, so I wasn't around during the first 3 seasons. But I so far this is my favorite in terms of how hyped the community is, and you know, it like Gameloft made a lot of good moves with this season, so I'm messing with it so far.
Honestly, I have the same sentiments as you. Just like you said earlier, like every season they've dropped since like free to play, because that's when I got here as well. It seems to be always some kind of drama or controversy behind it. And with this season, especially the last season, like I don't even want to talk about Wreck It Ralph, but this season, I feel like it was a clean launch. Like everything was pretty much smooth. Like they changed up the whole system in terms of like UI, how your account gets leveled. Like, I don't even think there's, like, really collection levels anymore. That got, I guess, looped into your player levels, but,
Yeah, that doesn't collection doesn't really matter anymore. It's just my rank.
pretty much. So if I had to think about, like, one of the smoothest launches I've experienced in this game, either this season, Inside Out, or, season 4, which was, Aladdin, and that says a lot because Aladdin was what got me into the game, and, like I said in a couple of my videos, I felt like I was on my way out, and with this season, it felt like it was like, "Nah, you can't leave."
Really back in.
Pretty much.
Yeah, man. It's funny that you say that because there's actually a lot of players that quit during the last season or the season before, and they've came back this season because of the new team mode,
Yep,
and they've been loving the game. So that's a W for Game Loft.
definitely. I wanna say my next question is a follow-up to the previous one. What do you think needs to change or be fixed for the future of Speedstorm?
Whew. Where do I begin, man?
Like, what
All
can you
right.
add to what we got right now to make it better?
Okay, so one, okay, so there's a lot of things that they could do.
Mhm.
I think they did a really good job with the team mode
I'm with
because
you.
everybody's been, asking for that. I think they should add team mode to private lobbies, and they should make it to where you could do up to 4v4s. So they need to make that an option.
Can I add to that?
Yeah, go ahead.
I honestly think not even just 4v4s. I think, like, this game possibly in terms of, like, maybe private lobbies with the new team mode, I think they should do, like, up to 12 racers. Hear me out. There's gonna
Hmm.
be 4 teams of 3 if you wanna do, 12 racers. I think that'd be crazy.
I think it would be too. I think it would be too.
And I don't think that's too much for the lobby to handle, if that makes sense. Because I know a lot could go on the screen and it could, like, really affect the gameplay, but I don't think having 12 races in team mode would be too crazy. Just because not everyone's gonna get stunned by the same skills. There's only,
Hmm.
like, a select group of races because 'cause you're not gonna get stunned by your own team, but you can stun other races around you. So that's like, if you're on one team, you can stun 9 other races apart from yourself.
Yeah. The only thing I think that sounds good. My only concern will be I don't know if this has been happening to you, but I know this has been happening to me and like almost everybody else that I've talked to. But there's been a lot of like performance issues with the game. This is something else
Yep,
that they need to tackle. So like there are times when I'm racing and the game will like stutter or the frames would drop drastically
yep,
and that will mess me up. And in a game like Speedstorm, every frame matters because one frame can mess up your drifting flow and
for
that could
real.
literally cost you the game.
I'll be online, I'm not gonna kid you. I'll be in a ranked match, and I'll be in the lead from maybe about, like, 10, 20 meters, and all of a sudden, my screen would freeze or, like, stutter. But, like, it would be a freeze for, like, maybe 5
Hmm.
seconds, and that 5 seconds, it's like, for me, my character hasn't moved, but for everyone else, they're still racing. So when my screen finally syncs with everyone else, I'm displaced. Other people are ahead of me now. I've lost that lead, and I'm like, "What is going on?" I've had those experiences. I have experiences where I feel like sometimes I might be going too fast for the game to handle, and my frames would drop. It's weird.
Hmm.
And, like, instead of getting maybe, like, 60 frames or 30 frames, I'm getting, like, 20 frames. It's weird. But, yeah, I
Yeah.
definitely experienced those issues as well. And
Yeah.
the disconnect. I hate that.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like they definitely got a lot of people DC in this game, and it seems like everybody has dealt with these problems one way or another. So they definitely have to get the optimization in check. So you know that's performance is a huge thing they need to fix.
Most definitely.
Okay, I know they just added team mode, but and I know a lot of people have been asking for like other modes, but people, I don't know. I remember you telling me that you've made it to champion before, right?
Yeah.
I don't have you like had a lot of experience racing in champion lobbies, or do you usually hit champion and like stop?
So that's the thing. I race till I get to champion, and then I'm like, nope. I like it. I mean, well, let me rephrase that. I like putting in the effort and the time to get into that accomplishment. However, I do not like having to climb ladder or running the gauntlet. For those who haven't seen that series yet, you can check it on the channel, Running the Gauntlet with King Triton. But running the gauntlet to getting to champion is extremely hard once you hit diamond. And sometimes even emerald, because there'll be lobbies filled with racers who are probably max level who haven't even touched ranked yet.
Yep.
And you'll just
Hmm.
start off and you might have a emerald racer and your emerald racer is like tier 3, 3 stars. And there's not much you could do with a tier 5 or a 5-star racer. Like you're just gonna end up losing. The best you could do is hope and pray you can land in the top 4 spot, which if you're doing that for every race, it gets very tedious. It doesn't even become a game of skill anymore. It becomes like a survival thing, and it doesn't even feel like that's how I'm supposed to be playing the game. If that makes sense.
Nah, I feel that. Yeah, I was gonna get to the point of if you have any type of experience racing in lobbies champ and above, you would know that I guess this game's player base isn't the biggest.
Uh,
So sometimes, or actually a lot of times, the lobbies won't be filled when you're looking for games, and
mhm.
that affects the gameplay and the environment of how you're racing, and point gain versus point loss, and it's not fun being in high lobbies and only running into three people or four people lobbies and stuff. It's because of the lack of player base. It really, it's almost like it punishes you for making it really high in ranks,
Exactly.
because and that's where I'm hoping mobile comes in clutch, because I'm hoping we'll get a huge influx of new players that will help, you know, build a player base and push people up to higher ranks and stuff like that.
Most definitely. And I understand what you mean by that because even on the way to get into champion, there's been times where I'll play and it'll be a lobby with me and 2 other people. It'll be me versus 1 person. It'll be me and like 5 other racers. So I get like an influx of different kind of ratios in terms of what lobbies I'm dealt with. But like for the most part, when you're dealt a short-handed lobby, it doesn't even make sense racing because you can race your heart out. All it takes is 1 person to get ahead of you, and that whole race was nothing.
Yes,
Because
exactly.
at a certain point, correct me if I'm wrong, at a certain point in ranked multiplayer, and I'm talking about solo, not team mode, um, you you earn less in terms of points to progress to the next league, but you lose more points. Well, I don't know if it's changed now with the new update, but in the last season and seasons before, you earn wait, no, not you earn. You lost more points when you lost in higher ranked lobbies than you did earning points in higher ranked lobbies.
Hmm.
I think at one point it capped out at like what maybe 60 points for the win or 70. But if you
I don't.
lost, it was like 90 points.
Yes, that's exactly what I was gonna say. Like, I remember one time, like when I got to there, because when you're in high lobbies or when the lobbies are like lessen to like 3 or 4 players,
Mhm.
in order for you to go positive, you
Have
or
to
to
hit
gain
second place.
efficient points, you so hit second place gets you positive, but if there's 3 people, it only gets you 10 points. That's not efficient. You
No, it's
basically
not.
have to win your matches in order to go like really positive. And that could be hard in high lobbies because you have top players and or people with strong characters or maxed out characters
Or
or
meta
meta
characters.
characters. Yeah, yeah, meta characters, and that's and that meta characters and the characters in this game. That's a whole different topic. I got a
Definitely.
lot of stuff I want to or I can say about that, but
Oh, don't worry, we'll get to that soon.
for sure, man, for sure. But they've done so far. I do think they've gotten a lot better with the new player experience. I know that's been a big thing people have been clamoring about. Because before this season, the new player experience wasn't really that good. Like it was hard for newer players to unlock characters or
Yep,
do missions. So what would happen is a new player will play the game. Once they run into that first couple of walls where they can't do a lot of content in the game, such as the limited time event missions, the star chasers, or the season tour chapters, they're like, well, shoot, I don't want to play this anymore because I can't do anything. Like I feel like I have to pay money to be able to enjoy the game.
exactly.
But now with this season, with the new how they changed things up with the my rank and stuff, and it seems like they're giving out more rewards. It's easy for new players to unlock a lot of new characters, and the new rank progression system helps out a lot with that. So I am really happy about that change, especially for mobile.
I think, like, I don't know if it's the same for you, but when I started off in season 4, I didn't have much of a problem, but I think maybe that's because I naturally just play games and I'm decent or really good at them. So for me, I was like, okay, it's gonna be like the run of the mill. I gotta grind a bit before I can really take off. So in the beginning, the one thing I hated with the new player experience was that I had to go through multiple tutorials, like 3 different chapters just to unlock, rank play, the shop, all these other things. When I'm just
Yep.
like, "This should have been given me I should have been given access to this off rip." Like, if you wanted me
Hmm.
to be locked out of rank play, that's cool, but, like, I shouldn't have been locked out of the season tour. I shouldn't have been locked out of the shop because, mind you, if you're just playing this game and you're just running all the tutorials and you say, "Okay, I think I played enough for the day," you miss out a day of using your daily box, so that's now gone. Yeah, you like, you don't get the daily box until you finally unlock everything, from the tutorial play. So that could be like you playing the game for 3 days and you didn't unlock the shop yet, so you missed 3 daily boxes because of that, or anything in the shop offers. So it's like,
Yeah. Hmm.
you're already
Nah,
setting me up to
I
fail as a new
agree.
player.
Nah, I 100% agree. I've even seen scenarios where like people will start playing the game, not know they have to hit collection level 3 in order to get or start playing multiplayer. I don't even think they can't even play regulated if I'm correct.
Nope, which is
Like
crazy.
like people be like, hey, I want to play with my friends. We just hopped on. How do we play multiplayer? And I'd be like, oh, you got to hit collection level 3 to unlock multiplayer, and they'll be like, what? I can't just hop in and start playing with my friends right away. It's like, nope, you got to finish the tutorial. And then even after that, I actually think they have to hop in and do like I don't even remember how like because I remember there were times where people would say they completed the tutorial and still haven't hit collection level 3.
Yep.
So I think from that point they would have to like
Go through the season
rank
tour.
up in season tour.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, that's true. And then they'll be like, I don't know if I want to do that. Like,
Because the season
this just
tour is
take too
pretty
much
much
time.
like the tutorial, the way it was set up. It's almost like you go from one tutorial almost to another tutorial, not knowing that the season tour is actually like the solo game mode to
Hmm.
unlock things. But I think
Yep.
to add on to what you're saying, like it was even just play ranked. Like it was horrible because if you wanted to play locally, you couldn't do that till you got to a certain collection level as well.
Yeah, that makes absolutely zero sense. Like, imagine hopping on a game and like imagine hopping on Smash Bros. And you couldn't like hop on and start playing local play with your friends until you like did some of the campaign mode. Like, that's crazy.
Honestly, I don't know what they were thinking on that front.
Yeah, man. It's wild, man. Game Loft, you wild for that one. But I mean, Game Loft, they wild for doing a lot of things.
Yep.
That's just, you know, that's just something small.
Okay, what do you think like mainly like the main things that they could do right now that would improve the game? Or maybe not. Okay, let me just hold myself. I was about to go crazy and say put on the level of Mario Kart, but put it in the realm where it can possibly compete with Mario Kart in like the next couple of months.
They, they, okay, so one of the biggest things that they need to do is they need to properly advertise this game and promote this
Exactly.
game. This is a big problem. A game of this caliber with these type of characters, this game, in theory, should be able to compete with Mario Kart, especially with it coming to mobile and especially being on every console
I thought
and
the same
PC.
thing, especially with the tons of IP and characters that Disney has in the vault. Like
Yep.
this should be on the same level as Mario Kart.
Yep. Just like everybody knows Mario and Nintendo characters, we all know, like, everybody knows Disney characters. So,
Hmm.
you know, there, so the way I found out about this game was because a friend told me about it. And honestly, if that friend never told me and our other friends about it, none of us would have even played or picked up this game or even knew this game existed. And I'm not saying that if I don't know your game, it's badly promoted, but I haven't seen this game anywhere. Like, they could they could just do so much things. They could have a lot of commercials for the game, or, you know, I would, the one I like to say is, if they have a movie and if they have a movie like a Disney movie or like anything Disney, like if you're on Disney Plus and you got like ads going, or, you know, anything that has to do with Disney, Speedstorm should be like a ad that plays like all the time. Like,
Exactly.
if I go watch Inside Out 2 and I'm there early, they should show a Speedstorm ad. They should
Hmm.
just show them playing the ad, like the same one I see them put on social media and stuff. And, you know, they could do a lot more, man. Disney has far reach, so there, to me, there's not any excuse why this game is so, not as big as it could be. And they could also reach out to content creators, hit up streamers, let streamers play. Like, it's a lot of different things they could do.
Definitely. I think for me, the way I found out about this game is I actually stumbled upon, I think, an ad on YouTube about this game back when early access was about to drop. and then
Mhm.
I completely forgot about the game. I was like, "Oh, this is cool. Maybe it'd be like Mario Kart." Forgot about the ad. Then I think like a month or 2 later, I saw RDC playing it. I don't know if you're familiar with them.
Yes, yes, RDC.
When I
See,
saw
so
them playing it,
so it's crazy. You say you saw RDC playing it. Now imagine if they had more content creators playing it, or like a lot more, people of RDC stature.
yep, that's exactly what I
Hmm.
was thinking when this game first launched. I was like, even though I got into the game and it seemed like the player base was lively, I was like, it felt like there could have been more, if that made sense. And
Yeah.
I was thinking to myself, I was like, did they not really advertise or market this game? I know it was in early access for a minute, but I was like, you got Disney Plus, and the same thing you just said, Disney Plus got ads now. If there's a game that you want to market or advertise, you should be taking the time to put Disney Speedstorm ads in the ad slots, or when there's a new movie coming out, advertise that along with Speedstorm because that character could be. You could say, "Oh, this character's coming in Speedstorm because this movie's coming out." Because what I've peeped with Disney Speedstorm lately is that anytime there's a Disney movie coming out, those related characters come out with that same season.
Yep.
So
Hmm.
with the Wreck-It Ralph, I heard they was doing another movie. Not sure if it came out yet or not, or if it came out at the time of the season, but they gave us Wreck-It Ralph as a season. This season, they gave us Inside Out because the sequel came out.
Yep. Hey, it's crazy. Like during, like one, say like, okay, the sequel's coming out.
Mhm.
People who have seen the trailer know that, okay, like new emotions are coming. You could like advertise it and be like, oh, like uh anxiety is gonna be playable in Disney Speedstorm. Like you could try the new racer, or you try the new emotion in Speedstorm, and that'll be another way to promote the game.
Exactly, and it's not like there's a paywall behind it because the game is free. I mean, yeah, there's a paywall now in terms of getting access to, the Golden Pass, but in terms of getting access to the game itself, it's free, so people will hear that the game is free, you can get into the game, go through the new and improved, new user experience, and then get into playing with these new characters.
Exactly, exactly. So just a lot of things they could do on the advertise advertisement part that will help boost the game. Um, I'm actually on the game right now. Like if I'm sitting in the menu. Like if I go to something else that I think they can make better, I'm not gonna lie. I'm. It's cool that they changed the UI, but I think the UI has to be better than this because I don't know if you noticed or have seen it around, Sammy, but people actually have been complaining about the UI, and I kind of feel them. So like, let's say, so one of the things that I really like is last season's UI. I was able to, you know, see my collection crew, right?
Yep.
So if I go to my collection and I want to see the crew members, I can't see the crew members.
Nope.
Now, the only way to see the crew members is you have to go to your racers, click on the character, click on the crew members, click on the crew member once you get on the crew members, and then you gotta scroll and you can see all the crew members.
Yo, I hate
It
that.
shouldn't be that convoluted to pick to look at your crew. Like that's not lit. It's too much um changing my character. I hate it now. Like I don't like uh I don't like how I have to always go to to the collection just to change my character. I like when I pick rank I see the characters at the bottom. I press triangle, and then it shows me all the characters
Yep.
that I could pick, or I could just scroll to, it has your highest level and most played at the most left. So I like that. Um, One thing I really dislike is if you're okay. Let's say you want to select a character, right? Once you go to a character and you pick on them, the you will instantly be on the upgrade button
Yeah.
instead of the select button. Usually it wasn't like that.
No.
But I have made a mistake and leveled up 3 characters because of this change.
I've done the same thing as well.
Yep. And you know what the shitty part is? They take up upgrade coins. And you know
Mhm.
why that's shitty? Upgrade coins are hard to come by in this game.
Yep.
Really hard. So I've probably wasted like 8,000 upgrade coins because of this change.
Hey, man, this
And
happened to one of my racers, and I was like, "You know what?" Honestly, it wasn't too bad because it was Anna, and she was already tier 4. So I was like, "You know what? I already started leveling up. Let me try and max her out as quick as possible." So I got her up to 49. I was like, "You know what? It is what it is." I had enough coins to at least max one character. If it happened to be Anna, I'm not upset, but, like, the fact that it happened that way without, like, me being able to decide for myself that I wanted to upgrade Anna at that time was just really disappointing.
yeah, and I know, like, I'm a very observant type of person. I don't really, you know, I'm very aware of what I'm doing when I'm on a game.
Yeah.
And if I'm making that mistake multiple times, that's a problem. I know everybody else is making that mistake.
But hey, look at it this way. If someone as seasoned as you is making that mistake, imagine someone who's new to the game that doesn't know any better that they should keep their upgrade coins for something else and accidentally be leveling up characters that way as well.
Yeah, that's actually a good point. I didn't really think of because that's that could definitely make a player, a new player use their upgrade materials and their upgrade coins, and they're like, "Dang, I already like used it on this character. Like,
Yep.
I might as well like keep leveling them up then." Like,
And then at that point,
yeah,
especially if you're a new player, we all know new players, they don't get the most love when they first start playing in the season. I know it's better this season, but like if you didn't start at free to play and you're just now playing, it is not rewarding to you. So if you use your upgrade coins now as a new player, you're gonna end up opening your wallet at some point if you really like this game.
hmm yeah, pretty much. And honestly, I know a lot of people aren't like the biggest fan of like microtransactions and stuff. But in my opinion, I think they could, if they're done right, it's not a problem. Because I don't have a problem supporting like a game that treats me well.
Hmm.
Unfortunately for Speedstorm, their track record isn't the best when it comes to that, and they got a lot of footwork they need to do. Like I said, is this season kind of inched them on the right track, but they still got a lot of work to do. If I were to think of anything else that would help the game, okay, so this is a big one. A lot of people don't like the fact that, they go against people that are pay to win
Okay.
or have like strong crews and
Yep.
ranked, right? Now, the game forces you to play ranked because everything you get isn't ranked. Like,
Yep.
you get upgrade coins, you get materials, you get skins, you get tokens. So, and the my rank is now connected to the rank as well.
Exactly.
Now, a lot of people, they're like, oh, Man, Speedstorm should just have like a regulated rank mode.
I've
I
been
would
saying
love
that.
that. Here's the problem. The problem is the player base isn't big enough. If we add in another mode, especially on top of team mode, I do think most players will probably gear towards that. So I do think it will still have a player base, but at the end of the day, it will still be split into player base like four ways. You got regulated, you got ranked with crew, regulated rank, and team mode. Like it's just the more modes that they add in this game, the more spread out all of the modes will feel, and the more harder it is to find lobbies.
Okay, I might have a solution for that then.
Okay.
So, might be a hot take, but I've been saying in the last couple of my videos, for those who've been watching me for a while, that although regulated at the time seemed like the better game mode to ranked multiplayer, what if regulated got a revamp and that game mode you was talking about, where if they brought in ranked, but it was a regulated mode where there was no crews, it was just racers at a select level. What if we added that game mode and just made it the regulated game mode that we already have right now? Because from what
Okay.
I can
Okay.
see right now is like, yeah, it's a good game mode on itself, regulated what we have right now. However, once you get done with your weekly objectives in terms of what you got to unlock in terms of rewards, it's like, what's the point of playing that anymore?
Okay. Okay. So it that sounds good on paper, but here's my counter.
Okay.
Now, every game that doesn't sound like a bad idea. Whenever you play a game that has a ranked mode, there should always be a mode that doesn't have ranked attached to it
Hmm.
because people want to be able to chill and race without any repercussions. Now, yes, they've made it easier to not lose points, but at the end of the day, a ranked mode is a ranked mode.
Yep.
You want to, if people, let's say me and you, we play ranked in teams, right? We like go
Yeah.
to teams, we play ranked. And it doesn't even have to be me and you. It could be like, casual players just trying to have fun. They go on ranked, they're like, oh, let's team up and play. We're playing games aren't going as good as we wanted to. We're losing points, or we're not losing points, but we're not making as much progress as we wanted. We're going against strong OP teams. We don't have that many strong characters, and we're just like, all right, let's. We still want to play the game, but we don't want to do with the rank stuff. That's what regulated is for.
Yeah.
And I think regulated should always regulated like with nothing attached to it should always be a mode like in itself. The the thing what this goes back to is when I was saying the game needs to be advertised more. The, they need to find ways to increase the player base to funnel people into all of these separate game modes. So where regulated will feel lively, ranked teams would feel lively, solo rank would feel lively, and it's if they plan on ever adding more modes, because I still see people asking for new modes. At the end of the day, it's gonna come down to how many players are playing your game. And that's why I think advertising their game better is one of the biggest things they need to worry about.
That's true. But if we had to look at the current state of the game right now, would you agree that's probably because they don't have as much money, that's why they can't advertise? Because the way how we just lost the ability to virtually earn tokens to convert them into golden pass credits to get the golden pass. The fact that they took that out of the game and just made it something that you have to use monetization for, does that scream that they don't have money in their pockets?
It's a possibility. I mean, at this point, anyone guesses is as good as mine. I have heard people throwing that out there or saying that if they think that's you know the- it's the reason why they did what they did, which logically it makes sense. But you know, I guess if they, let's say they didn't have the budget to advertise it as big as we wanted it to,
Yeah.
there's still there's things they could do in the game to help. They would just have to like fix everything else in the game. Like they could lessen the shop prices, because we all know the shop prices are insane.
Yeah.
um they could, they've done a good job with the new player experience. So we just talked about that. Even with the rank mode, that's been good. The team rank mode has been bringing a lot of life into rank, so that's good. Um, Maybe add a little bit more limited time missions, because I know last season it felt like we were on a desperate need for limited time missions.
Yeah.
Um, they could polish up private lobbies, make it more customizable. Add the game modes that are in uh
Season
season
tour.
tour into private lobbies, like the elimination mode.
Yep.
Add teams, add the green and purple item box, add single items, like make it a truly private experience.
Mhm.
you know they could, I see them, they could have more ways to get crew shards, other characters. I think over time that will happen. Uh, the racer boost thing is really good, so maybe add something like that. But for crews, there's a lot of things they can really do.
I wanna bring it
So,
back to the point you're making about, people asking for, like, a regulated multiplayer,
mhm.
because that's where this whole topic really came from. Um, in terms of that, okay, so we have the team mode, we have ranked solo, and then we have regulated multiplayer.
Yep.
If regulated multiplayer is already the casual mode, what's the difference if we just said, okay, because it's regulated, it's casual even though it's tied behind ranked? Wouldn't casuals still play that, you think? Because it's not like there's crew
I mean, they
members
would.
attached to it.
That's true, but I do feel like a lot of casual tend to veer off from rank, because at least from my experience, I'm usually on like the Reddit forums, or I talk to a lot of people, and I'm in a Discord server and stuff like that for the
Yep,
Speedstorm. And you know, not everybody wants to play something that's attached to rank.
that's
Like, I've
true.
seen a lot of people say that, and I've seen people that said that they hate, or they really dislike, that this game forces them to play rank mode just to get resources and stuff like that. So, that's why I just don't. I'm not saying it'll be the worst decision, but you're definitely going to be turning a lot of players off by doing that.
So then I guess the biggest solution in terms of like the closest thing we can get to a regulated multiplayer mode is if they fixed or changed the way that lobbies are designed. So instead of like me hitting bronze league and all of a sudden I'm racing everyone that's in either bronze or silver around my level, forget the leagues entirely. Like, yeah, you can keep that just for show. Okay, I'm in the bronze league or whatever the case is. But I think that maybe in terms of how lobbies should get set up, every new season, everyone has to do like preliminary races, like maybe, I don't know, 10 races. And then after those 10 races, it'll put you in a league based on skill level and your performance of how you've done in those 10 races. So then it would say, okay, you play like you play similar to like these kind of racers. We're gonna put you automatically off rip in the Emerald League, and you could be racing with like maybe a tier 2 racer, but the system is already placing you in a league where it thinks you could do well in. Or if you're using like, I don't know, a 5-star Mickey, so it's level 50 maxed out and everything, but you've been losing most of your races, it'll put you in like the silver league because it's not gonna put you in bronze. You'll just smoke everybody, but it'll put you in silver because there might be a low level silver who's pretty solid, but the level is not there, so you can't really compete with people in like the gold or the platinum. You know what I mean? So that level 50 Mickey can hang with that silver, if that makes sense.
Okay, okay. I wouldn't mind that idea. I feel like so it's kind of like trying to put people or like place them in their what their estimated skill bracket would be with that
Exactly.
character and level.
It doesn't have to be like
Mm.
character based, but like in terms of how well you do in all those 10 races, it should put you in the appropriate league. So like the league shouldn't be based on how much you've progressed, like how much you've won in order to level up to let's say the bronze or silver or gold. It should be based on, okay, my skill level is the gold league because I've beaten enough people in silver and bronze to get to gold league. You know what I mean? In terms of
Mhm.
just winning enough races to get into the gold league. And if you wanted to get into
Okay.
higher leagues, you got to beat everyone else around you in the gold leagues to move on to the platinum league. You get what I mean?
Mhm.
Maybe they don't have so many champion leagues. Maybe just champions the highest league, but it's at level 40. And then you space everything out in between. But I think everyone should do like 10 test races to gauge what kind of skill you have in terms of driving compared to other people. And then let's say everyone off rip for those 10 races is using uh because in regulated everyone drives at level 30, everyone's using a tier 3 racer. You can choose any racer you want, but it's going to be locked to tier 3, so it's regulated for those 10 races. And after those 10 races, the system will judge your performances through all 10 and put you in the appropriate league.
Okay, okay. That doesn't sound too bad. I wouldn't be against that. Um, I do think with this most recent update, they don't have anything like the placement matches, but I do think
Mhm.
this recent update helps a lot with how ranked is in terms of putting people in their right their right rank. So, for example, they made it to where, and I actually really love this change, and I've been talking to other people, and they love this change too. But they made it to where if your character is not in champion, it will no longer reset ranks. So let's say a player has like a level 40 Mickey, right?
Yeah.
They could, let's say they're good enough to push that Mickey to like Emerald.
Yeah.
At the end of the season, that Mickey will no longer fall back to gold or platinum.
That's good. That's
And
how it
that
should have been, I
means,
think.
yes, I agree. And that means if I'm a player that has like a level 27 character and I push them to platinum, and this person starts using Mickey when I already got to platinum for the next season or gold, I won't have to race this level 40 Mickey because they've already been, they haven't been reset. They're going to stay in Emerald unless their skill just brings them down.
Yeah,
So you won't have a lot of people, you know, you'll have a lot of people that get their characters to ranks that they should be at, and you don't have to worry about them falling down and messing up other people's races.
exactly.
So I think that was a insanely important change that I really like that they did.
I think that should have been something that was there since even free to play, to be honest, because I remember my first couple of experiences in free to play, apart from maybe like my first 6 races, because I won them all. As soon as I got to like maybe the silver league, I kid you not, I got into lobbies with like level 30s, sometimes like low 40s. I was like, wait, what's going on? Like my character is barely even 20 right now, and I'm getting grouped up with these people. I was so confused. I was like, this is ranked?
Yeah, pretty much. I don't know if you know this, but this game actually has like a invisible like winner streak
Oh yeah,
MMR rank
I've
thing.
felt that already, man. I think it's like if you win 2 to 3 in a row, it'll put you in a lobby stacked. And when I mean
Yep,
stacked, everyone's like 40 plus. And you could be like the
yep.
only tier 3 racer, like 3-star racer, level 30 something, and everyone's 40s. You might get a max level racer in there, and you're like, okay, so Gameloft wants me to lose.
Pretty much that's how it feels like. It feels like, okay, you're winning a lot. We're gonna put you against the big dogs just to knock you down a peg.
Yeah,
And you know, that it when stuff like that happens, it feels really unfair because when you were winning, you feel like you were winning when the lobbies were more either people lower than your skill or around your skill and you're like edging them out.
yeah,
Whereas they shoot you to a super crazy lobby you have no business being
being
in
in. At least not yet.
just to, yeah, just to knock you down. Like, I don't, like, I get what they're trying to do. It's like the game's trying to
Test you.
recognize, yeah, they're trying to recognize your skill, but it's like, it's kind of hard. Like, you can't, like, just let me keep winning my races. And when I get to those lobbies, like, put me in those races
Yeah,
then. Like,
because a lot of people don't know, or at least I don't think most of the community knows that plays ranked. I mean, like everyone that plays ranked, because at some point everyone has to play ranked, even the ones who played regulated. And this is not just in ranked; it's also in like season tour and even limited events. There's an invisible stat line where like I don't know if it's been patched to where it's like because I think they patched it when they messed around with the racer upgrades from last season. But I know there used to be an invisible stat line. So if you were a 1-star racer, you could not mess with a 2-star racer. And that was because they had invisible speed boost. So if you
hmm
played like limited events and you had to play against okay, so say it was like a superstar challenge. Oh, that's my dog in the background. Say you had to do a superstar challenge and it required you to use uh, a level 30, let's say meg. But when you got in there, you saw like maybe a 35 meg, and that was possibly 3 stars. Because back then the knowledge was 3 stars was like uh 25 to 35, right? However,
hmm
you race that race and you're like, bro, why can't I keep up with you? And then you finish the race and you're like, okay, maybe that meg wasn't a 35, 3-star. Maybe that meg was a low 4-star at 35.
Mhm.
So it got the because it was level 35, but it hit the threshold to be a 4-star, it got that speed boost. While you're over there with a 3-star stat line and they got a 4-star stat line. That's why in terms of season tour, there's some chapters a lot of people couldn't finish because the bosses for that chapter or the racers in that chapter were nigh impossible to beat because like they were a whole star level ahead of you.
Yeah. Mhm.
So
Yeah,
it
nah, I feel you. I feel
it
that.
in terms of like ranked, if it has the same system for just solo play, that same system has to exist for ranked as well. Because how else would your racer be progressively much more faster than a low tier racer, right? So
Mhm.
if I'm in a lobby full of 4 stars and a 5-star, and I'm a 3-star, they already got the hidden tier tier boost because they're 1 or 2 tiers higher than me. Even if the stats look similar on paper when you go to the racer info, because their stars are higher than me, they'll beat me. For instance, like we've had scenarios, I'm pretty sure you've seen some scenarios where you'll have a level 1 racer like Buzz Lightyear and it'll be a 3-star. And then you'll have it race against, I don't know, uh a Stitch who's like 4 stars. And I kid you not, the level 1 3-star Buzz would beat the Stitch.
Okay, okay. Yeah. So this is just like so this is basically that like that video Poppin made with
Yep.
when with the 5-star, 1 star to diamond thing
Mhm.
and okay, okay. Yeah, that's definitely I always thought that was like kind of funny, but it did like mess people up and honestly, I didn't even consider the fact that having a 5-star versus a 3-star gave you invisible stats
Oh, it definitely
other
does.
from yeah ever since until I saw Poppins video.
I think when I saw that video, I had to test it for myself. Like, I remember one time, I can't remember which season it was, but I had this one race specifically where I think I needed a level 30 character. And I was like, "You know what? Nah, Imma bring my best racer at 2-star." I got smoked every time. I did, like, maybe 20 races, I kid you not, smoked every time. I leveled it up 5 levels just for it to hit the threshold to get to the next star level, and
Mm-hmm.
easily was able to manage keeping up with that racer, which was crazy.
Okay.
And I was like, "What the hell?" So this is not even a skill-based game. It's based on an upgrade. So if you have the right upgrade, it'll put you in check. Like the game will be like, "Okay, you got the right amount of levels to compete now. Now we'll let you have your way with the bots."
Yep.
Because even last season when it just launched and we had the King Candy season event, I felt I swear I felt those effects in his event only because I had King Candy at level 20, and even though it said I only needed King Candy at level 20, when I was racing, it felt like I was racing racers or bots that were like low 3-star at 25 in the old system, if that makes sense to you. 'Cause you know how in the old
Yeah.
system, if you get to like between like 20 to 30, you're at a different star level, 30 to 40. Like, so the increments of 5, so 25, you're at a different star level, 35, you're at a different star level, 45, you're at like, you're either at high tier 4 or you're at tier 5.
Mm-hmm.
So I was thinking, man, I'm not racing anyone that's in my star level. I'm racing all these bots that are tier 3. There's no way this bot's leaving my screen like this.
Yeah,
No
man, them
matter
bots,
what I do.
those bots, it's so crazy because like the AI in this game, it feels like they just are on straight cheater mode, bro. Like if you're
Yeah.
like not up to the level, there will be time. So this is actually the way it works. So let's say there's a mission and the requirement is 30, right?
Yep.
If I play like a level 25 character, um, and I'm racing as soon as the match starts, what you have to do is you have to stay as close to the first place
Yep.
player as possible. If you get stunned, they will like shoot off. Like
You'll
if
never
they
see
don't
them
feel
again.
like you're in the yeah, because there's like some sort of mechanic to where once you leave from their side, they like speed boost off. I don't know why it's set like that. And it's crazy because the other characters in the game, you have two or three racers like just sprint towards the finish line, leaving you in the dust.
Yep.
The others are just there to fuck you over. Like they're just there
Mhm.
just to mess
It's
you
you
up,
versus the bots.
pretty much. Because they don't got to worry about winning. They just trying to stop you from winning.
And I low key peeped this in a race one time because I forgot which event it was, but it got to a point where I couldn't win, and I was like, okay, you know what? Let me see why I'm losing. I'm racing the entire time, and I'm analyzing the entire race. What I found was the bots, they don't stun each other. They'll hold on to items. The minute you pass that
Yep.
bot and it looks like you're getting into a favorable position, they start shooting their items at you.
Yep.
Because I remember one
Yep.
time I was in second place for the longest. The first time I get to hit first place, and like just around the corner is the finish line, I get stunned instantly by everything. The minute I come out the stun, I get stunned again. And I'm like, wait, what is going on? And you're right about how if you don't reach like a certain checkpoint in that race, like the AI will be like, nah, okay, the first whichever bot's in first place is gonna get the speed boost. The other bots are just there to keep you in check. Because every time I lost a race like that, you could see the way the AI bots would drive, and it was always the same way. They'd always drift right, drift left, and have a speed boost straight to the finish line.
hmm
And I was like,
Pretty much.
do they all do this? So that every time I lost, I peeped that. I was like, they all drive the same way when they reach the finish line. Or if you're at the finish line and you just passed first place and you have a sizable lead on them, for whatever reason, they'll end up getting a weird speed boost and pass you.
Yep.
It's happened
hmm
to me like a couple times, but not so often where I'm just like, what the heck? But it's happened to me enough where I'm just like, these guys are cheating.
Yeah, and it's not like they're not they're the bots aren't managing boost or managing items or
Nope.
using their classes passives to help them win. They're just it's just purely like a bot made to just keep going fast to make sure it beats you if
Exactly.
you're not up to that level.
It's
So
honestly crazy.
that's why a lot of people be complaining. They're like, "Oh my gosh, like the AI is cheating. Like I'm tired of game off. Like why they, why they do this?" But I get it because like even though it's annoying, just when the bots gang up on you like that, they can't make it to where if you have insane skill at the game and you're like level 10, you could just beat the level 30
Yeah.
mission. Like, because at that point, there's not going to be a reason
To
to
play this
level up
game.
your character.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, even though people, I actually do think they have been doing a little bit better job now
Oh,
because
definitely.
there were missions where I would have a character that's level 25 and I could not do the level 30 missions back then. But
Nope. Same
now,
way.
like the level 40 Figment mission, I did that with a level 32 Figment.
Yeah. I got my Figment to I think level 35, and I was like, "Why is this race so easy?" This boss that
Hmm.
I'm racing against, I think is a 4-star, and I'm a 3-star. Like, I should be having trouble right now being, like, 5 levels below, especially with Figment. I don't care how many buffs they give this guy. And I smoked the whole lobby like they were all 2 stars, and I was like, I didn't even need to level
Yeah.
Figment at this point."
There was another player I knew who did it at level 28. So
That's crazy.
so Gameloft have definitely been toning down the bot difficulty.
Yeah,
Now that doesn't mean every once in a while you get a mission that's difficult against bots, but they've been, I've been people the difficulty for the missions, and they've been a lot more lax, I'd say.
I feel that as well.
And I think that's good for the players,
Most definitely.
makes it easier to get missions done, unlock things, you know. People like when they can complete things. Keeps them playing the game longer.
Exactly. Yeah, I think we ran through that topic a lot longer than I expected, but that's alright.
Of course, man, it's a lot of Speedstorm, man. So it's a lot I'm thinking about that I want to talk about too, but I feel like they'll be better for like other topics.
Most definitely.
Thanks for watching. Please leave a like and subscribe. I'll see you at the next one.